Regional stability is the core element of every nation's policy. It reflects the moral and the honoring morality for other nations. Tensions between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Islamic Republic of Iran had been since the 1990s and formally since the last 7 years. The main role is Yemen and Houthi rivals. In the series of viewpoints, Ildus G. Ilishev told, the tension made engulfed many Middle Eastern states and affected major international platforms like UNO and OIC. John Irish clarifies as Saudi have to face rivalry by Iranian-supported Houthis, and later in 2020, France and Germany with their alliance attacked on special targets of Iran, and think tank believes that it was diplomatically deployed by Saudi Arabia against Iran. Now, a new era of regional stability has been observed, and its past can be observed in the shape of European Union, who had been bitter rivals but now are on the same platform for their development. In recent times, China took steps to rejoin both neighbors for regional stability. This step was there when Iranian president visited China and met with President Xi Jinping on February 13, 2023. And in the next month, both Riyadh and Tehran announced re-establishment of their relations. Before going into further details, if you've been enjoying this video so far and want to be notified whenever we release something new and exciting, then subscribing to our channel is the way to go. Now, let's see this scenario in geopolitical and global political perspectives. The USA had played a significant role in manipulating relationships between Gulf countries for many years, but the change of scenario gave birth to the approach of relationships and a new wave of stability. Saudi and Iran had been rivals, but now agreeing to regional stability with the interference of China. United States Institutes of Peace 2023 reported that this transition is due to the secret 5-day meetings of Saudian and Iranian officials in China. While the agreement was based on the sovereignty of states and no interference in the internal affairs, what were the main tenets of the Chinese interest in joining both nations on one platform of regional stability? According to the United States Institutes of Peace 2023, China had been the biggest importer of oil from Saudi Arabia and Iran, and it required peace in the Gulf. The tensions of Iranian-supported Houthis and Saudi air war was a continuous threat for Chinese imports and exports. This war killed more than 150,000 people and made many refugees, especially in Yemen. Agreement of both countries is a great diplomatic victory for China. China is the only state which is intended to expand its business circle rather than planting wars and tensions in the countries to sell arms. Experts believe that the tensions in Iraq, Libya, Syria, Yemen, and other states can be stoppable due to rejoining two major Islamic schools of thought on stability. It can be understood in a way that the Sunni fighters are fighting in Syria against Bashar al-Assad, who is Shia, while the fighters are Sunni and are supported by Saudis. On the other hand, Houthis are Shias and rivaling against Saudi Arabia. If both sides and their handlers stop supporting, then the tensions can be reduced in the region and the region can go towards stability. The Chinese president has postulated his global security initiatives and is working on this agenda to make the world peaceful and give peace and business security for mutual development. Global Security Initiative, or GSI, is an alternate and offensive diplomatic aim against the USA's global affairs dominance policy known as New Global World Order. Global Security Initiative by Chinese president is to provide business, national, food and energy securities to all those countries which are willing to work with China. While on the other hand, New Global World Order was initiated by President Bush in September 2001 and was of own supremacy and self-interest of the USA. Through this agenda, the USA gave itself right to deploy operations where its interests will be on risk. This agenda was set soon after the attacks of 9/11. Beside oil, Chinese interests are purchasing the gas and setting the safe route from Gulf countries, especially for European and African states. As the USA has put restrictions on energy, technology, and trade for China, so China has to look for other allies for its needs. Diplomatically, President Joe Biden of the USA announced that the reduction in tensions in the Gulf region is for global stability. But on the other hand, the security and the diplomatic fruits could be lost by the USA in the region. Experts believe that the deal between Riyadh and Tehran is the continuation of the peace plan for the Ukraine war, and China has extended its global role by enhancing its global security initiatives in the region. The USA had been a great seller of arms in the Middle East, and according to the report of Dominic Dudley, 2019, a writer of political and business aspects of the Middle East, the USA arms sales had been observed an annual increase of 42% of its exports as compared to 2018. These were $25.5 billion deals in 2019, and major 9 countries of Middle East and Africa were the buyers of arms. The questions are whether the reversal of security by the USA from Saudi Arabia and oil exchange is possible or not in ongoing situation. Will Saudi Arabia put its security at risk by bowing towards China as compared to the USA? The simple answer is using oil as a weapon, and in recent times, Saudi Arabia has minimized its oil production due to deal with OPEC countries and has lessened it by 10 million barrels as compared to existing production. The simple reason is deploying oil weapon against Europe. The diplomatic war against the USA is here by China. Ukraine is known as the 3rd biggest importer of US arms, and due to China's policy of peace plan, then the arms exports can be minimized. Many of the reports denotes that arms imposed by Asian countries has been decreased, and according to the reports of Stockholm International, China has decreased the arms imposed as minus 23%, while similar figure can be observed by the Gulf countries as well. But the arms has been increased, which was of the US dominance of global arms, but it was observed in other countries such as Brazil, Chile, and Mali, etc. Interests of Saudi Arabia are of its Vision 2030 through Mohammed bin Salman is intended to bring innovations in its kingdom. This required peace and stability in the region and let the kingdom be developing. On the other hand, Iran had been prey to essentials and sanctions by the US and UN Security Council. The initiative by Chinese President Xi can lead towards new ways of business, imports, exports, income, security, stability, and mutual cooperation. The stance and the role of China in the region is of moral principles, while the role of the USA has been expansion of the global world order. The stretches are of morality and self-interest. Let's see if the Global Security Initiative wins or the Global World Order wins. If new tensions are not created in the region, there are many chances that Chinese Global Security Initiative have many chances of winning and leading the world towards the stability of peace processing and business initiates.